Hello, everyone, and welcome to Back to Light. This is a show where we talk about how future proofs past, and we help you with different techniques and tools to help you get back to your sovereignty, your truth, your health, and your wealth.
Back what the enemy stole. Trump, and you know it.
Natasha Owens, Nick Natoli, Trump won.
Trump won and you know it. Trump won and you know it. America has voted. It's true. Trump won and you know it.
Yeah, we all know Trump won, baby, and we know Kamala crazy. Everybody knows that I'm a patriot like my name was Brady. Red hat, baby, it's a red wave. Democrats want Trump off stage, but we know that they can't aim, and he won in every state. Trump won, you know we know. Too big to rig this vote. Someone wake up Sleepy Joe, cause
Trump won and you know it. Trump won and you know it. America has voted. 'Cause it's true. Trump won and you know it.
you know you can't stop Trump. He's got a swamp to drain, so go ahead and grab your ticket. Let's ride that Trump train. He won in 2020, and he just did it again. Go and throw your hands up. Let's celebrate this win. It's time to get it started. Come on now, everybody. Everyone's invited to this We the People party.
Trump won and you know it.
Yeah, yeah.
America has voted. 'Cause it's true. Trump won and you know it.
Woo!
I know it, you know it, we know it, they know it. Everybody knows Trump won. I know it, you know it, we know it, they know it. Everybody knows Trump won.
Everybody knows.
I know it, you know it, we know it, they know it. Everybody knows Trump won.
Yo, 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 yo.
Trump won and you know it.
You know it, you know it.
Trump won and you know it. If there's a lie, they're gonna throw it. It's true. Trump won and you know it.
Let's go, let's go.
I know it, you know it, we know it,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
know it.
yeah.
Everybody knows
Trump won.
I know it, you know it, we know it, they know it. Everybody knows
Trump won.
I know it, you know it, we know it, they know it. Everybody knows
Trump won.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Back to Light. I am so excited to have Quinny with us today, and we are going to learn a little bit about her back history and her restaurants and all of her fun awakening stories and what she's been doing since she has been awakened. So everybody, please welcome Quinny.
Hi, y'all.
Thank you so
I'm going
much.
to talk fast I'm going to talk fast so I don't sound like I'm from Minnesota. That's a
You're
curse.
You're good. Wanted to ask you your background, right? So what brought you into this great awakening?
Okay. Well, I was my life is drawn out, but I was a single mom of two kids, and I started to see a lot of stuff in the medical field. I was a competitive swimmer for 16 years. I coached a high school swim team for 25. My dad was a physical education teacher, and he was a bicycle racer until he was 87 years old. He won numerous, like Arizona's Senior Olympics. He was just phenomenal. He was a great athlete, took care of himself. And I just started to see, what the heck are they doing with these vaccinations? And I had a son who was attention deficit, and I tried to get him just on supplements. And my ex-husband was kind of being a jerk and said, oh no, just make him take that so he behaves. I couldn't go there. And then my other son had celiac, and I tried my best. I went on the diet with him, and then my ex-husband said, let him eat what he wants. He's not going to grow anymore. And I'm like, well, you're not getting it. He's poisoning himself because his body is not able to handle that food, which that's a whole nother subject. And I think our food source is going to be changing throughout the next so many years. Everything's going to be local, natural, organic. I'm looking forward to that whole transformation. So I noticed all those things. And then also I was a single mom of 2 kids selling real estate, and 2008, 2009 hit, and I lost everything. I was this close to being homeless. I lost my house, lost my car, bankrupt. I moved in with my dad in an 800 square foot condo and gave up my dog for a year. I had a family that took my big 110-pound Doberman for a year. And so I just started just looking at things in a different light, because I'm like, I've always worked 2 to 4 jobs. Why am I ending up like poor, almost homeless? Something's not right. Well, I got myself built up a little bit on the next couple of years. Then I ended up running for Senate in Minnesota, and I lost. And then I really opened my eyes there and saw how corrupt that political system structure is. And so from 2012 on, I got Bell's palsy when I was running for Senate, which is your face, you look like a stroke victim. I went to an acupuncturist. She healed me. She brought my face back. I ended up with chronic headaches, and I was taking 8 to 10 Excedrin a day. I ended up, a girlfriend of mine, who's no longer a girlfriend, by the way, because, and we'll get into this about losing friends. She told me I was crazy, and so we haven't been friends for over 4 years. Anyways, but she did tell me, she goes, you need to do natural essential oils. So I hooked up with a lady, dropped the Excedrin, and I use essential oils, and it's been taking care of my headaches. And that was a result of Bell's palsy, because it's a nerve, and that created horrible headaches in me. So, but back to the vaccinations, they were pushing all these like flu vaccinations, older people, you got to get your pneumonia vaccinations, and they wanted to do tetanus on me. And I go, no, I'm not doing that, you know. But my dad got the pneumonia vaccination, and right after that, he started getting really forgetful. And I get it, he's older, so it's hard to say, and with all the poisonous foods we've been eating. But eventually he got to the point in a couple of years where he would get lost driving. And it was a horrible thing to go through. Anybody who has to raise their adult parents, it's not easy. And so throughout that, I kept waking up, and then 2016 hit, and Trump, and I was really like standoffish with Trump. I didn't know, because of his arrogance. I'm a conservative bleeding heart. I want people to be nice to other people, and Trump wasn't nice. And it took me a little bit to get it to where I realized, oh yeah, I love him. And then COVID hit, and the rest is history with that whole thing. With COVID, I woke up 117% with the COVID thing. I said, it's BS. I own a restaurant and a pub here, and I never wore a mask. Told my staff they don't have to. I had a speakeasy in the back of my restaurant. And even if liberal or conservative, they didn't care. They wanted to come out. It was amazing. The people that dropped their politics to be normal, to be able to go and socialize, and they weren't afraid. So that's it in a nutshell.
That's a lot. That's a lot that you.
Yeah. I try my best to do it really quick, so I don't.
No, you're good. It's good. So I know that
Okay.
the lockdowns, it really opened up a lot for, just different things in people, right? So some people realize that they don't want to do the 9 to 5 anymore in the traffic, and then some people realize that they don't want certain friends around them. And what did you? I know that you said that in the pub that they put their politics aside, but you also saw another side of it, right? Where there were a lot of families and friendships being ruined because of what they did.
Oh, nonstop. Well, I will say one thing. It was in the middle of COVID, and we were only doing takeouts. And a friend of mine was a Minnesota state senator, and she said, can you get down to the Capitol, and we want you to testify, like in an hour. So I headed down there, and I testified. And instead, at that time, and sometimes God gives me little hints about things to say. I was so angry at that time. I could have got up there and said, the governor is a communist and this whole thing is fake, and that's not going to win people over. And as a restaurant owner, yeah, I might as well shut my doors then. So I decided to take the high road, and I decided to talk about emotionally what it has done to people that I see, and staff, family, everything. And my son was my manager at the time, and he said, Mom, I don't have a purpose. I feel like I don't have a purpose. He's like 20, he was like 28 years old, and he didn't feel like he had a purpose in life. And so I tried to tear at people's heartstrings by letting them know this is just not a health crisis as they're throwing it at us. This is a total mental war that they're going against us, and which, as we moved on further, we saw how in depth this war is that we are at. And so I got back to the restaurant, and everybody's talking about, because I was on the news and everybody's talking about it. And all of a sudden the phone rang. So I picked it up, and this guy says, you killed my mother. So, oh Lord, here they go.
Here we
and
go.
because I'm a restaurant, I killed his mother. And I just went, oh, you can't fix that, and I'm not about to try. So anyway, but I saw the extremes of people. I saw double masked when we opened up again. They closed us in Minnesota twice. Double masked, pulling it down, taking a bite, putting it up. I mean, whatever. That's equivalent to driving in your car by yourself with your masks on, you know. Yeah. So then
Did you see
all the
they
people
had two separate, and it's like they I just can't. I just
you
you look back
can't.
and it's like, was this, it feels like Bizarro World. It feels like
Yep,
we were
yep.
in the Twilight Zone. And I have
Yeah.
all these memories pop up on Facebook, and it's like, I've just put it back out there. I go, remember, we lived through this. This is not satire.
Yeah.
This is what you people were doing, sitting in bubbles. And, you know, we can't go inside the restaurant, but we were allowed to go in tents outside the restaurant. All right.
They had igloos like
Those are
little
worse.
container thingies. And the governor was like, you gotta go to these restaurants and you'll enjoy it because you'll be safe. And I sat there and I go, what kind of stupid is that? And who's believing this BS? And how did we get here?
Well, you see the
I tell you
plexi
what,
covering everything. It's filthy.
yes.
It's like, I'm not touching that. I'm like, give me a glove.
The
No, I want a glove.
plexiglass that went around like that because the germs know they can't go. And I tell people,
Science.
I've said all along to people, I've said, why can you not see that and I can? Why, you know, and my son, he's pretty awake, but he's more of the, well, when is it going to happen, Mom? That kind of thing. And I'm over that. But he said, Mom, I'll tell you when it's time to rush the castle, meaning simmer down, follow the bullies, let them tell you what to do, and do not go out of line because you're going to get in trouble. And so then they closed us the second time, and I looked at him, I go, so Ryan, time to rush the castle yet? Or let me know, because apparently you know and I don't. But all the people there, I talk to people daily, more than probably 90% of the population. Story after story. People who they were married, and people that you'd think would be married forever, saying, yeah, my spouse turned into a liberal psycho case and couldn't deal with it anymore. If I had a nickel for every story I heard about that, and friendships, families, nonstop, and you yourself are probably a victim of all that, all the people who, like, I can't be friends with you anymore, and preventing you from going to holiday get-togethers. And I have family members. My sister, she works for special needs people. And she says, well, I'm doing it to protect them. And I go, but it's not tested, and you're going to get you sick yourself. She didn't care, and she had that cognitive dissonance where she got really mad when you'd say something to her. And
Yeah.
then they had friends that wouldn't let them go up to their cabin unless they were all vaccinated. And my brother, same thing. Well, they're saying we can't come unless we're vaccinated. And my other sister and I said, don't do it. You are going to regret it. You're going to regret it. And you're going to be afraid for the rest of your life if you're going to at any time have a heart attack and die, you know? So the
Yeah, I had a
conversation's
friend
now
that was
opening
like,
up.
"I wanna go to a concert, and you're not gonna come with me?" I said, no. No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
I don't have poison in my body to go to a concert." And other ones were like, "I wanna
Yeah,
travel." I'm like, "I will
yeah.
walk wherever I have to go if they, wanna take my license, whatever they wanna do it." Like, I'll be fine. It's just
It's
sad,
just
and
not worth it.
how it destroyed such beautiful friendships and families, and I always say to, like, my mom, I talk with her all the time about this. I'm like, "I wonder how we're gonna be able to put the pieces back together. How do you say
Hmm.
sorry enough?" Not us, but,
Yeah,
are we going
yeah,
to
yeah.
get those apologies? Are we going to get somehow this big event that's gonna cause unity again?
Well, are the question is, are people going to want to be in that relationship again? I've moved on. I've had friends that I'm not talking to, and clearly I can see a little clearer now and see what that relationship was, and maybe I don't want to be in their lives anymore. And that's sad, but I moved on, and I've created a whole nother level and population of friends that they add to my life, and I've got joy again, whereas before it was almost fake friendships, because if
One-sided.
if your yeah, if your best friend is willing to throw you to the curb instead of saying we should talk about this and explain this to me, so, and then make an educated decision as if you want to continue on with that friendship. But they didn't. They just called us out for being nuts. And well, my ex-husband, I moved out because his son was stealing from me, two baby mamas, didn't work. And it was awful. And I bugged my husband for about a year and a half. I said, please go to counseling. We need to do something. And he smugly said, I don't go to counseling. So I said, I'm moving out. And he filed for divorce and divorced me. And he has told the world that I am crazy. We own two bars, and he still owns the other one. And he's continued to tell people I'm crazy. And a couple of weeks ago, he had to stop by, and he goes, "Hey, what's up with all this military around?" And
Wouldn't
it
you
was
like to know?
hilarious. I gave him the look, and he goes, "Don't say it," because he has come along and said, "You're about 50% right." And I said, "Well, you know what? I can't wait till I'm about 99, and you're going to see it." And I think he does have regrets, but as much as I loved him, and much as I thought I was going to be with him together forever, I just understand he wasn't the guy that I was. There was a point that I was supposed to be with him, and part of it is owning this restaurant, because without him, I don't think I would have purchased it.
Mhm.
And now that I have it, now I see my path in the future of helping others out, because we are going to have to be the ones to suck it up and not say, I told you so.
Mhm.
And yet we have to be humble and say, we're here for you. What do
Yeah.
you need? And I
I
think
posted
that's
that
my
the other day.
little corner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because, well, you
absolutely.
and I talked about it. We have the "I told you so" shirts, right? Because at that time, that's what
Yeah.
we were. We had
We
growth.
were like, yeah, we're right, you're wrong.
But again, we realized, right? I wasn't gonna wear it to be mean to people. I really just wear it around the house because it's just vindication for myself because I know we were right, you know? And then
Yep.
next thing comes out and the next thing comes out. And I'm like, oh, and I would just do the red pill drive by. I would just be like, huh, they're talking about that on the news already? Okay. And I would just
Yeah.
walk out the room. He's like, what does that mean? I'm like, oh, nothing. Just a little red pill, just a little pebble in your
I
shoe,
love that.
get around a little bit.
I love that.
But what
Yeah.
woke him up was the whole the butler incidents. He's like, that was just what? And now that happened a week after my father had passed. So he thought I was going to be hysterical and crying, and I could not wipe the smile off my face. And he's like, are you going? And I was like, no, that means we're at the end. I'm so excited. I can't. And he goes, end of what? I'm like, this craziness. I can't. And I don't know if we are or not, but I would like to believe that we are. That was last year.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been a year already. Wow. And
I
it's
know,
like,
right? Well,
like, oh, kicking the can. Like, what are we doing? Come on. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I see
When that
things.
shooting happened, I had texted, I'm good friends with Patrick Gunnels, and I had texted him and I said, oh, that's okay, Fab. And he goes, well, I got to do, he was still with Badlands. He goes, I have to do devolution tonight. And I got to do the 48 hours. I go, yeah, hell with the 48 hours. You can see it's this fake shit. So, I mean, come on. Come
bullet
on.
with a come on. What are they, Superman? Capturing the
Right,
bullet
right. The
camera.
whole thing, piece by piece. You just go,
And then-
no, it's not true.
Like, that's what you're gonna say? Like, I don't know. It's just the whole thing. And then they if you look, if you watch the whole thing, you see it, and he's talking, and all of a sudden the flag gets lowered into the perfect shot. And then there's that iconic photo that, it's just it's sad that it's comical, but we have to laugh through this because we've been through such crazy stuff that
Yeah.
if we don't laugh, I think we all would have broke. So I feel that these are crumbs for us to say, hey, guys, look how ridiculous this is.
Yeah.
And if they can't figure it out, then just move on, because I mean, it's beyond ridiculous by this point. I mean, the amount of 17s that are dropped and the amount of like word for word drops that are dropped, and it's just like
they're carpet bombing the Q board nonstop now. I mean, every day is something, and you're like, okay, you can't see this.
Yeah.
But people, and that's an understanding that we have to have, that even though we tell them, can't you see this, and show it to our faces, there is a disconnect that we can't fix. That's why I think Hugh said the EBS is necessary. And speaking of, this morning, and my sister didn't get it, but I got it. This morning at 5:09 a.m., I received, what's that?
I said to the Q drops 5:09.
Oh, you know what? You're right. 5:09. It says test alert. This is a required weekly test at 5:09 in the morning. And I'm like, it scared the crap out of me. I was going to jump out of bed. I go, oh my gosh, it's here. It's time.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Dang it. And then someone else put it on Facebook, and only a few of us got it. It's not like it went all over Minnesota, only a handful.
That's
I don't know. I know. I'm like going, okay, don't give me a heart attack.
A little bit of it's coming. I don't know. And look, we don't do dates, right? Because I always say dates equal disappointments, but I do feel like a stirring. I feel that there's so much momentum going on. It's like watching this ball roll down the hill, and it's just I don't know how big the hill is, though. That's the thing. When does it get hit? I don't know. We just gotta wait till see how big this hill is, because I mean,
we're on Kilimanjaro mountain. We're maybe half there. I don't know. Who knows how far we are?
But think about it. It's not just one piece of our life that we were lied to and have to fix. It's every single aspect, everything, so we actually talked about this a little bit before backstage, right? We were talking about how if everybody would have got it at the same time, I feel that would have been almost like another big bang of doom, right?
Yeah.
And it would
we know
have
that now.
Consciousness into a place where we couldn't recover. And that's also a drop, right? We have to do this at a pace where people can recover from it. So I feel that it's going like drips and drabs, and it's necessary. And everybody's like, well, I need it now. Okay, well, why don't you take the moment and be grateful that you are aware, and you don't have to be in this fear anymore, and you can help others get through it. And if enough people started shifting that, instead of what's in it for me, and when is this, and when is my money coming, when is it, I cannot, when people start talking about Nasara Jasara, I just roll my eyes. I'm like, listen, if it happens, I'll be happy, but I'm not relying on something else in something that, who started that rumor? Where did that come from? And
Yeah,
people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this." And I'm like, "Start now. Do things now. You wanna do a humanitarian project, start doing it now." Like, start
exactly.
moving. Like, I
Yeah,
just
don't
it stresses me
rely.
I just don't understand what people are, and that's again, that's that programming of people waiting for someone else to do something for you instead of you taking the
Yeah,
initiative and doing it yourself. So, I'm
exactly.
very
And that's the
excited
one
to have
thing.
this space for
That's
them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the one thing that I've told people that have said, "Oh, when is it going to happen?" and yada yada, giving me a hard time. And I say, you know what the funny thing is? I'm still living my life like I'm
Right.
moving forward. I'm not stopping for anything. Um, the coping mechanisms, though, are, I got a fly flying around me. The coping mechanisms that we needed, I was fortunate. I started training with a trainer who was perfect for me. He's kind of a normie, but he's had his fill from me over the years, and it's hilarious. But I was able to start lifting weights, and I worked with the trainer that it wasn't just like, let's go on the elliptical and get yourself a little bit in shape, do a little Pilates, do this, do that. No, he trained me to power lift and to lift heavy weights. And he said at the very beginning, he says the key to longevity in life is lower body strength. And I was always an athlete, but I let myself get out of shape because I stopped coaching and I wasn't happy. And he built me to the point where I just cannot believe how strong I am. I literally feel like I'm 25 years old. Um, I My aging process has been reversed for what I've been doing, and I try to be um, someone that can help other people out, a good role model for especially women as we get older, because the poisons in our food and our drink, um, people are aging so fast. And I tell people, I go, well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to live till I'm 120. And they just laugh at me, and I go, I can deadlift 300 pounds. What can you deadlift? I am
Right.
stronger than 99% of women my age. Well, probably more than that, actually, because not too many people what I do. Now,
Right.
I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that I was somehow God put this in front of me, our Creator, to work hard physically, and that is why I'm still in this game of the Great Awakening and owning a restaurant, because I got that physical stress relief to come back here and be in this battle. And so I try to teach other people, even if they're not in the Great Awakening thought process and they're normies living day to day, at least get your health together, because our bodies have been falling apart now. We have been poisoned. I just look at people and I'm like, I remember grade school where you have your token one heavy set child. Now it's 50%. That doesn't bode well. And I see parents and I'm like, do not let your kids get that big. And part of it you can't
All
control
the
because of
processed
the,
food,
yes, exactly. So I
the
get that.
more
But
anxiety.
I'm also at my age, I'm 61, and at my age um I can make choices.
Yeah.
And part of this great awakening is, I think finances are going to be different too, whether it's Nasara, whatever it is. The cheap foods are the most unhealthy.
Yeah.
Easily to go to, and get, White Castle or something cheap, and it's horrible for you. I
Belly
know,
bump.
I know,
That's what I call them, belly
exactly.
bump.
Oh yeah, right. Oh gosh. But even, and my sister Sheila, she is amazing. She's researched way more than me. She's retired, and she goes into Walmart and checks out all their organics, and she's amazed at the transfer of the types of products we're getting, and the
Yeah.
quality is changing. And that's part of this. instead of, we thought everything was going to happen in one day. We needed to gradually change everybody's thinking, and that includes what we're eating. And the number of people I talk here that yeah, they got, oh, we got the vaccination, yeah, we want to stay healthy, and you get a lot of that. But you also now get people saying, oh my gosh, I'm on a journey to lose weight and this and that. Unprecedented as far as I can see in my world. I don't know about
Yeah.
other people's worlds, but I see people wonderfully taking care of themselves again. There, and I said, if I can be at help anybody out in their journey, I will do it. You know, because I want to be a role model, and I was lucky enough to be given this gift to be able to be successful in the powerlifting, that I walk the talk. You know, I show people what they can do, and that's what this is about, helping each other. You
Yeah,
know,
speaking about
because,
the powerlifting, that is also the mind game, knowing you
oh
can
yeah,
do it. So
yeah,
he was helping you not only body, but he was helping your mind get strong. So that's really awesome.
correct.
That's
Correct.
awesome.
Because when you lift heavy, like today was an arm day, and it was hard. It was really hard. And when you lift that heavy, it does something to you where you're just like, the stresses that you put yourself through. And honestly, I'd rather not do it. I'd rather not spend 2.5 hours kicking my ass because this is the program I'm on. I'd rather just, you know what, sit at home and watch Netflix.
There you go.
No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't want to do that. But um, I think that what I did, you're exactly right. Mentally, what it has done. I mean, I went through a divorce. I went through COVID with a restaurant. Um, Money has been, and I was in a lawsuit for 2.5 years of my new Pub Q. Um, the first builder screwed up so bad. Anyways, in 2.5 years, it cost me 100 grand in attorney fees. So my stress level, most people would have probably jumped off the highest bridge they could find. And I'm just smiling through it, going, "We're gonna get there. We're gonna
Be
get
all
there."
right.
Yeah, and I credit that to the workouts and de-stressing me, and it does wonders. And I want to tell people, well, your body wants to move. So if you're stressed, just go out and walk. Just do anything. Move your body. Um, because God gave us this vessel and we need to take care of it. And that's the way we're going to get through the next. I'm hoping it's weeks.
I'm
I
hoping.
doubt it, but I think it's going to be years totally. But let's inch towards something that's massively huge where we can all celebrate. You know,
Well, that
we'll
goes back
see.
to what we were talking about. If we all start celebrating, it's done. We
Mhm.
just have to be there. Everybody's waiting for something to celebrate. Like, let's just start celebrating life and that we figured it out and that we're not being poisoned anymore and that, we're making different choices and we're able to see what others
Yeah.
can't see and just try to be there for others, and be nice. No, I told you
Right.
so.
Just,
Yeah.
I get people who just are, they go, oh, that person. I'm like, you know what? Let them be them.
Yeah.
You do you. Let them do what they want, and wish them love and happiness and see what happens. It's that energy that's going to change things.
Back
And
to
yeah,
you.
I get it. I get it. People are assholes, and you're like, I don't want to deal with you, but let's kill them with kindness and see what that does. I do that with my servers. They say this person is having a fit, so I go over there and I just smile. How's your night going? I heard you were not happy with this. Let me listen to what you've got to say about it, and I try to turn them into my biggest fan. So it's a cool thing to do if you play it like a game. You know,
Yeah. A lot of
turn
people
people.
have not had anybody to talk to or
Yeah,
have anybody, so if you just take that moment to listen to them, you are a star in their life, they're like, wow, she
yeah,
actually cares, not
yeah.
just because one, the server went and said something, otherwise you wouldn't have been aware, right? So they're like,
Yep.
I'm being heard, right? And then you fix it, and then like, oh, this is great, and then you know your pub is going to be where the place to go to because You have people that are coming from all over to see you, right?
Yes. So the times that when I was on Badlands, I got involved with them a lot, and then I got my girlfriend Nancy, and she's awesome. She's on my level too, and she told me about News Treason, which then connected me with Rambo, and then of course A Track and Beer at the Parade, and I still am in touch with Patrick. I just love them all. So then I went on the Q&A for the first time um, on a Friday night. This was last, I think it was, I don't know if it's last winter sometime. All of a sudden, people started coming into my restaurants, and I heard you on News Treason, and have nobody to talk to. I can't tell you the number of people who have come in that sit down and say, I have nobody, and I'm afraid. And so I have had get-togethers with friends, but now I'm going to try to do it at least once a month with
Mhm.
all my conspiracy friends. I, I shouldn't. I got to figure out another name for that, because
Yeah.
we should
We
figure
can
out some type of a term that is endearing for what
yeah.
we've been through. You know.
We we've we've
Um,
we've seen things that people don't. I don't really consider us, in that negative vibe of that word, I know that, Sarge calls us pattern recognition specialists. That's a
yeah,
good one, but
that's
I
awesome.
mean,
Perfect.
but we have meetups, and I can, link you in there, and then you can see if there's other neighboring, states or whatever. If people wanna come, then if you guys want, and we can do that, but the
Sure, sure.
meetups are good for people to meet in person, but then also online, because a lot of people don't have vehicles and they can't get
Ability.
around.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
get it.
so
I get
even if we go, like, and do a call and everybody's at the pub and they can't be there, we can at least call them and have them be a part of it too, so there's ways
Exactly.
for the connection, so
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, some of the people, single ladies and and this is what's
we're
really
not doing a
funny.
dating site, that's a rumor.
No, no,
That's a
no, no, no,
rumor.
no. Yeah.
No, I
And
know what you're telling us, and I'm like, "No, no, no, no." We
yeah, and
no,
I don't mean
we
single in the
managed
fact
enough.
that they want to hook up with a person
Yeah.
who's awake. No, not that. Just,
That's what I'm
just
trying
people
to no,
that.
I just need to have that not be clipped and no, 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 no.
That's funny.
We're
So,
kidding.
the thing is though, who's doing most of the who's making most of the noise right now about this awakening? It's women,
Women.
it's
Yeah.
mothers, it's middle-aged women, past middle-aged women. We are
Well,
the
we're the
ones.
consumers. We're the ones that
Yes,
brought that stuff into our homes.
yes,
So
yes,
now is the part where we get to make that choice and vote with our dollars and say, well, we're not going to have these toxins anymore. This is not
yes,
going to be in my
absolutely.
home. And
Yeah,
if you want to go out and buy your own stuff, then go for it. But this is what the family's using now. That's what
yeah,
happened.
exactly,
Then they
exactly.
start to use your
Well,
stuff, and it starts to go away. I'm like, "You're using this stuff. It works better, doesn't it?" It's like, "Yeah."
yeah.
Then they finally admit it.
So my boyfriend bartends part-time at another local it's a steakhouse, and it's an iconic steakhouse. His dad owned it. It's been in the family forever. I don't know, 1940s I think they started. You go in and it's the old timey dinner club looking,
Yeah.
and it's really super cool. But anyways, the owner there has gone through cancer 3 times, and he's survived. He also told the staff that they should really get the COVID shot, and that scares me. And I'm who knows what people got, what were the clot shots, what were the saline, we don't know. But he's had stomach issues, and so I've provided him some
Solutions.
natural stuff, and he's just like, this stuff is great. And the ivermectin that I've been doling out to people has been phenomenal. I'm able to get it for pretty cheap, and I'm just giving it away like candy, saying, "Here you go, see what you can do,"
Yes.
because they don't want us to know this. So,
Right.
yeah.
I just
Huh?
love that because you can be that, again, resource for this community when people know that they can go and trust you, talk with you, and you have solutions and you have just different things that you can help them with. So it's so cool.
Yeah, and I'll try my best. I'm not necessarily right, I don't know. Maybe 50% of the time I'll be the first to admit that, hey, sorry, I could be wrong. And I actually had a talk today with one of the guys at the gym. He's 85 years old. And I said, Billy, how are you doing? And he said, my sister died 2 days ago and she's 86. And she had health problems. I said, I'm so sorry to hear that. And he goes, we didn't get along well. And I go, really? Why not? And he goes, she was a Trumper. Oh no, oh no.
No.
And I love this man. I love this man. And I go, I said, I'm there too, though, Billy. Not all Trumper people are evil. So then I tried to talk to him about, um, about kind of the life in general, that we gotta love each other. We've got to help each other during this time. And I said, I'm Pollyanna. And I will tell you that things are going to change. And he goes, not in my lifetime. I go, sit back, honey. Sit back and wait. You're in good shape. You're coming to the gym every day. Things are going to be fine. And so my joke is, and I've told everybody, if I'm wrong about this whole great awakening, if I'm wrong about everything, thank God I own a bar, because I'm bellying up and I'm loving my red wine. Because we're screwed.
Your solution was better than mine. I said, just meet me at the nut house with the rest of us. I'll sign myself in. I will sign myself in. Give me enough pills so I don't know what's going on, because at that point, but I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I really think that, again, we have to laugh.
No, I don't either.
Because we have been through such heavy stuff. So if we're not laughing, and look, there are so many things out there for people to feel the doom and gloom. And that's why I wanted to create a space where we can laugh and figure out what is our new world going to be. Like you just said, well, hey, if we have to drink it off, then we do. But I really don't think that that's what it's going to be. We can just drink to celebrate. When all this was going down, my boyfriend bought 2 cases of Trump wine.
Oh, I love it.
We've been drinking it on certain occasions. And the day that of the election and stuff, I'm like, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm going to open it. I know we're going to be using this one today.
No matter what.
No matter what. We're using this today. So yeah,
hilarious.
so we were just, and little at a time, we'll bring it over to someone's house who isn't mad about, politics and stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little gift that we give to people. They're like, oh, the one that I have is a 2020 bottle too. I saved it. I didn't know. Mm-hmm.
Way cool. Way cool.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I've been saving.
I don't want to open it on accident.
I've been saving all that 2020 stuff on purpose, because it's gonna come back to be relative in history of what we went through, and we can never forget. And I try to explain that to my sons. Yep. My sons are 33 and Nick's going to be 32 in September here. And I told them, I go, something will be happening. And whether you think your mom's crazy or not, get ready. When is it going to happen? I go, see, that's the what is it? Short-sightedness of their thinking, that it's not black and white. And that's where, like, the discussion we had about the dimensional thing, that we're going to grow out of where we're at right now. And people can't comprehend that, because I grew up Catholic and it was so simple. It's like, you do this, you do that, then you won't go to hell.
Right.
End of story. You live your life, you pay the man, you raise your family, and then you die. And then hopefully you go to heaven and you don't go to hell. Because you might go to purgatory, though, because that's that middle ground, though. You did a few things wrong, so you got to stay after school.
I saw a funny meme. It was like a robot, and it was like, this is AI showing you the memes that you're getting right that's causing your execution.
Oh no. Oh.
But again, have to laugh through the apocalypse, because we lived through this censorship and this craziness, and everybody was like, no, we got freedom of speech. Do we? We didn't. And everybody needs to remember that we didn't, and they can't erase that. we have to make sure that every generation, and that's the other thing when you're saying the short-sightedness, right? So, um, maybe, maybe it won't be in our lifetime, but isn't it worth going through all of this so no other person in the future has
Yep.
to suffer the way we
Yep.
did?
Yep.
And
Yep.
maybe
We,
we are the sacrificial lamb, who knows? But at
yeah.
least you can see it coming, to a close in our favor.
Yeah.
Like you said,
Yeah. We are
different.
definitely moving forward fast,
Mhm.
fast. Now, there has to be something huge to happen because as the drip 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 goes, and I use the drip 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 not about information popping out. I use drip 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 about the people slowly waking up. Honestly, at this rate and the number of people I talk to on a daily basis, it's going to be 2050 and you're going to be at maybe 80% because the people around me here, I mean, they call out things that are BS, but they're not ready for what's in store
Right.
unless this is some type of a spiritual thing that hits them, hits their heart, hits their soul, and that's what's going to wake them up. Because this drip, drip, drip is not going to wake them up to that point, and that's why I say this might take years. Once we get the initial wave of holy shit, what just happened, and we're going to be like, yeah, but from that point on, it's going to be a few years of like
Rebuild.
gradually seeing our history was a lie, gradually seeing that we have been like programmed to listen to people that don't have our best interests, that are evil, and our creator created us to be free, and we're not free. We're not even close to free. The little things.
Choose your
I
freedom.
right. It's just those little things that I see that I call out as BS. And I'm like, they can't make you do that. And I tell people that and they go, oh, don't do that. You're going to get in trouble. I go, oh, well, what are you going to
Right,
do to me now?
right,
What's
right, right.
that?
You said by whom? Who's gonna get? Why are you in trouble? By whom? You know.
Well, that's just it. And I've never been, I, I learned to be a rule follower, and
Mm.
something snapped in my brain that said, don't do that anymore. And now I'm to the point where I'm opposite. I call out everything, and that's dangerous too until we get to the precipice of the great awakening or whatever it is you want to call this. But we only do what is in our heart that
Yeah.
we believe we need to do, whether we're crazy or not. This is our path, you know?
We'll be crazy
So
together. It's all good.
yeah,
Hey,
right. We can
at
we
least
can
we know how to laugh and we know how to have fun. So
yeah.
we're crazy.
Yep.
At least we can have a good time while we're being
Yep.
crazy.
And that's why I have this restaurant too. It's not just for I know that I'm here for people in the future to coalesce around or commiserate, whatever you want to say, once they find out that they've been lied to and they're miserable. But I'm also doing it as a place to relax and have fun. I have live music 3 days a week. The end of September, I'm doing a tent party with a couple nights of great bands, and I want people to learn that it's okay. We can celebrate through this and get through this because people are hurting. I myself, I'm, day to day, I work my tail off and I don't know if I'm going to be closed down eventually, especially in Minnesota here. We are the epicenter of all evil when it started with George Floyd. That was a real awakening. I went, what is going on here? And I knew it
That's
was BS from,
yeah.
yeah.
Watching everybody comply. And then I'm an energy person and I'm hearing everybody say affirmations. I can't breathe. So I created a meditation. I can breathe freely and easily. It comes naturally to me. So I was just trying to unprogram these people and they were putting these affirmations out there and everybody was saying, I can't breathe. And then what happened right after? Everybody's in masks and
Oh
nobody
yeah.
has
Yeah, exactly.
that.
Exactly.
That's scary. And that
Oh,
just goes to show how powerful our intentions and our words are. So be careful what you
absolutely.
say. Oh,
Yeah. And
be
it's
careful.
funny because I would wear a mask to go to the gym, and I'd do the plastic shield. I couldn't put anything over my face, but I would do that just so I could work out. And I just said it's a necessary evil right now, and I'm not going to sacrifice my physical condition. So I made that choice, and I'm okay with anybody else's choice of saying screw them. I'm not going to work out. Well, it would have hurt me during that time because I really needed that that release of energy. And so then when I'd come back here and I wouldn't wear a mask, and people would walk in, this is, and I don't know how about other states, but you had to wear your mask walking in, and as soon as you sat down at your table, you could take it off.
Mhm.
And I would look at people, and I'd look at them and say, "You're really buying into this, right? Are you kidding me? Because I'm standing here without a mask, and you're there, and you're okay. You're just fine." And most people knew it was BS, but thought that they had to put up with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you don't. You don't have to put up with it. And like I tell people, if everybody stopped paying the IRS, what happens the next day? The IRS is gone. What are they going to do? We got more guns than them. You
It's
know?
a collection agency. It's not even a real thing.
It's not even a
Anywho,
real thing.
it's
Yeah,
not even a real
exactly.
thing. But I'll never forget the looks I used to get in the stores because I would barely go because I didn't want to be around the crazies. And I
Yeah,
would walk defiantly without my mask, and people were telling
yeah,
me, and I could see people go like this and like they felt like, oh, we're loud. And like because I
cool.
gave them permission, unspoken permission, but I gave them permission to say, hey, you're not going to jail. I'm walking around. You're going to be fine. Take your
Yep.
mask off. Take your mask off. When I was going through all this crap with my dad last year, they tried to pull this and that. Now I was very upset going through all this, and I'm like hyperventilating. I can't breathe, and they want me to put on those crappy little masks that have all the chemicals in it. I can't. I said I
Yep.
have chemical sensitivities. I said you put that on me, I'm going to be next to my dad soon because I'm not going to be able to breathe. And they were like, could you just at least hold it? We're being watched. I was like, by who? What is happening?
Yeah, right, right.
What? Can I hold
Wow.
it? Yeah, I'll hold it. And then I got into where my dad's area was, and they didn't make me put it on, thank God. But
Wow. Wow.
everybody in my family was holding them and putting them. And I'm like, please, like, so I told my mom, I'm like, take it off. She's like, she was so used to just putting it on. It was just that was what they've become because they had to put it on everywhere they went. I put it on once just because I had to go to a bank. And I was so pissed at the whole time. I literally, like you said, walked in the door, I had to have it on. I sit down and I was able to take it off. I just didn't understand with this craziness,
Wow.
but
Wow. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you've been through a
Yeah.
lot. And
I'm
I think
lucky. I went. I shouldn't say I'm lucky. I wouldn't have done it anyway. But I went to the doctor before the mask mandate for a yearly physical, and I said I suffer from headaches and I cannot wear a mask. So she actually wrote me a note
Mm.
to show people that I can't wear a mask. I got a doctor's note for it, which is hilarious. But I remember walking through a Sam's Club and the lady ran up to me and she goes, "You're the cause of making people sick without your mask." I looked at her and I go, "Keep walking." I just
Does
walked
yours
away.
work? Does yours work? Because what are you worrying about mine? It's so ridiculous. Whole nonsense.
And the shots too, the
Yeah.
shots. And no one, that's how asleep we are. They're coming out with Biden saying you will not get COVID if you get the COVID shots.
Well,
And
maybe.
all of a sudden the next, Joe Biden got COVID for the third time or whatever. And I'm like, is anybody paying attention to this? I mean, that's how we got to laugh.
Because we have to, because we've been through the mill. And for, I wonder if people are going to look back now and go, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? How did I miss that?
Right,
I
right,
wonder
right.
if they're going to
I think
ever
they are.
be
I think
there.
they have to. I think they have to have that awakening of going, yeah, I remember that. Because sometimes when, say, if you watch a movie and you watch it one time, and then there's a bunch of stuff that people say, oh, you didn't see this. Oh, I missed that there. So then you
Right.
go back and watch it again and you go, how did I miss that? Same
Yeah.
thing. They're going to have to revisit that. And it's going to be hurtful for them going, can't believe we allowed this, And hopefully they look at us and say, we're sorry. I doubt it, but
I doubt it. They still have the stupid circles on the floor. I'm wondering if that's on purpose, so we could remember that that was like a real thing. I had to put something up on Facebook years ago when this was all happening. And it's like I almost caught COVID, but I stood on one of those circles and I put that. I ended that shit right away. Everybody was dying.
Oh
Like
my gosh, that's awesome.
how? Like I was like, this is a very, very smart virus. It knows to stay here. It knows to go in the
Seriously.
arrows. They made us walk in arrows. I didn't do it. I did not go into stores at that crazy time, but they made people walk in arrows. Like when you go the other way, is the virus going to hit you in the face? I can't. I can't. I, I had people that were coming home and like bleaching their products. I'm like, you're bleaching your food. Okay. Okay. I can't.
But you do realize this was planned how many years ago, and the little bit of programming that they did a little at a time throughout the years, they pushed us and pushed us and pushed us to be in that slumber of not paying attention. And I was one too. Never paid attention. I trusted everything, and I don't know why I woke up, because I don't think I should have woken up. I really was one of those who was good in school, and I listened and I obeyed I was that
You
person,
woke up
and for
because
whatever
it was
reason.
personal for your dad.
Yeah,
I that
yeah.
that probably the trigger word for you was vaccine.
Could have been. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you
For
heard it
whatever
again,
reason.
you just wait, "Dad?
Yeah.
Wait," and then now that was your, like I feel like everybody has different trigger words that wake them up.
Yeah. Well, and then I looked at statistics about vaccines. Even back then, they said, well, it only works 10%. And I'm like,
And I'm
and
good.
then I'd have people, even my trainer would say, well, you know what? If you're older, maybe you should take it. And he didn't take any of the vaccinations. He's a granola guy. He's totally all natural. The guy is fit to beat the band. I mean, he's awesome. Him and his wife. Anyway, and I'm like, why? And he goes, well, actually, it probably only works 6%. I go, why take the chance
Right.
of getting sick yourself just because of that? And then my dad doing that when he is in such good shape for his age, it's like, take your chances on that one, man. My brother, who died of cancer in 2019, and he was a leftist, communist, whatever you want to call him. I took care of him the last 8 months of his life, and he had a crappy diet. He was always taking all the vaccines. He wasn't in really good shape, and his trust in the medical industry, he's like so excited that he was approved for this grant to do the poisons that eventually killed him. He was thrilled about it. And if I knew then what I know now, to the extent I know now, because he had thyroid cancer, and I was bringing him to the Mayo Clinic down in southern Minnesota, and I said to him, well, bro, hopefully the surgery will help. And he goes, yeah, my doctor told me that if you're going to get a cancer, the best type is thyroid, because it's the most curable. A year and a half later, he's dead. Okay, where did that go? What direction did he
Storm.
take the turn on, where he was not one to get over thyroid, because it's 80-90% curable? Why him? Well, he poisoned himself, and he did it, and as sad as I am losing him, I know that he's in a better place now, and I think he understands now. I think they all understand
Right
that.
from the other side. Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're going, oh, yep, you're right. At least that's what I hear from my friends who know.
Yeah.
Lies that they had to perpetrate to program us, to scare us, and then with the whole gun thing, the Second Amendment, and taking away, because you can't do anything if we're not armed. They can do everything if we're not armed. If we're armed, we're not going to allow this. And so that's the whole school shootings and all that stuff. So,
yeah.
Okay. So what we've been dealing with with the Second Amendment for years and years and years. Um, we have more than they do, and we have to stand up for our rights. And unfortunately, most people are uneducated on the use of guns. Um, I am a I'm a person that says people should be able to own Uzis because people who are law-abiding citizens do not hurt people, and we know that from the past. And
Right.
even the fake Tim Walz came out and said when he grew up, everybody had rifles in the back of their trucks. Well, there wasn't school shootings,
Right.
so that got me to think. What was it, a week and a half ago after that school shooting, to just drive to the church. I pulled up and I realized it was a circus. I realized that there was no police walking around. There was students walking around. I talked to a few students, and a couple of them said, we don't see any bullet holes or glass. So I decided to drive to the church, and I parked. First I drove by, and then I parked, and then I drove around. I walked around, and I talked to a lady, and she was talking about her dog that she adopted. She wasn't even talking about, oh, how sad this is, and this was a horrific event, and people died, and nothing. And I'm walking around, and then I see this table with all this food on it. I thought, well, maybe they're doing a fundraiser for the family, and I thought I'd buy something. I looked down, and no, it's just for people to eat because people are hanging out. And and yeah, and I get it. You know, you have to coalesce around each other, especially if you're very sad about an incident that happened. I get that. But that wasn't this. This wasn't people praying, holding hands, singing kumbaya. This was people just mulling around, and it was the weirdest thing. So when I went over to the side, what's that?
Being extras.
Exactly. So when I went around to the side where the side of the building that was shot up,
Yeah.
I'm like, this wasn't shot up. They had these boards up there that looked like they were 20, 30 years old, and it didn't show like they were newly put into where the window supposedly was broken, because then when you screw in screws into wood, it looks new. You can see the fibers coming out from the wood and everything. There was nothing. These boards looked like they had been there for years. I looked at the side of the wall, the stone. There was no problems with the stone. A little bit of wear and tear from how old the building was, but there's no way bullets hit that side. I looked down. There was about 18 inches between the wall and the plants, and it was all rocks. And I looked around. I actually reached down. There was not one speck of glass. That's not. And someone said, "Yeah, if you shoot at a glass, it all goes inside. It doesn't pop out." What?
Okay.
Sorry, it's a hot mess. I mean, it's crazy when you.
It goes everywhere. Yeah.
I go to gun ranges. I shoot a lot. I know how powerful guns are. And that's my little handgun, let alone what this person was supposedly shooting. And I just walked around. I go, this is so BS. And then when I saw the 17 on the door, and there's not 17 doors in this whole building, there's just not. And that wasn't on there when Google drove by, Google Maps, and did the picture. That was not on there, and I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago or something. And now all of a sudden there's a nice clean 17 on the door. I'm like, okay, now I get it. And that just vindicated me for just because people said, yeah, you're nuts for doing that. And I go, okay, what about this? And they go, oh,
Right.
I go, yep.
It goes back to what you were saying, that
but
we don't hurt people, right? So I've never heard
we
of
what?
we don't hurt people. I never heard of anybody going and shooting up a governmental place.
No.
They pull on our heartstrings with
No.
the children, and I don't
Yeah.
honestly believe that there's this much crazy. I feel like we flipped a script so we can show them how crazy things are, and now we're putting it back on them. But I mean, when I saw the window that day when you were showing it, I'm like, so he shot each window individually? Because like there's no spray, there's no like I don't understand. And like you said, there was no
Someone's not going to go. someone's
Shoot.
not going to go right up to the window and shoot because
Right.
they're going to say we're going to get glass popped back at us. And then the whole thing about where did he kill himself? There's
Right.
rumors the parking lot. I went back and walked around the parking lot. There was nothing.
Right.
There's no sign of any, there's no evidence at all. And I'm not the brightest bulb. I'm not like this reporter person who digs in and tries to figure out the truth of things. I'm just witnessing what I see, and I sometimes call myself a simpleton. I just see it, call it like it is, and that's how end of story. But this was odd, and I just kept going, wow. So when, like, my oldest son, I said, hey, you know what I did? I went to this church. He said to me, I don't want to hear it, Mom. I go, okay, not a problem. So, and people, when I do tell them, the angry look on their face,
Right.
children got hurt, and they're so mad at me for questioning that. And I'm like, question with boldness.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. And if out of fear and sadness you decided we can't question because you're going to hurt somebody's feelings,
That's
that's
how
how
we
we
got
got
into
into
this.
this situation.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
117%. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Well,
anyway,
thank
so
you for
well,
sharing that. I know that that was a huge aha moment for you, right? Seeing it and actually experiencing it, right? Not just watching somebody else's video or something. You're able to be like, no, no, family, kids. I saw this with my own eyes. Here's my pictures. Like you have to like try to feel like you have to validate it, but you don't because it's yours and you know that it's not doctored. You know it's not AI. You know that this is what they were trying to pass off as the side of the building. So
yeah.
yeah.
But and then people don't understand. They don't understand the movie part of this whole thing, the psyop that we've been living through. And because they don't understand that, they're like, well, and you know, you bring up Sandy Hook and say, well, you need to see what Dave did with Sandy Hook and show you that that was all fake and gay,
Gang
as they
stuff.
call it.
Yeah.
Um, but if you don't realize that, like Newsweek put out that 60,000 plus um, army of citizens, and I don't know if it's military, government people that are out there acting. Yeah, there's actors out there. We have been taken for a ride, and let's get off that ride. Let's call them out. But if the good guys did this to bring to light that transgenderism is not real and we're poisoning our youth because of this, maybe that's a good thing, you know, and maybe I just was there just to prove a point to people like you and I that can say, okay, there's another one.
Yeah,
Yay.
right. You can put that one in
So,
our hat too. It's
yeah,
not again, we're not making fun of it. We're not trying to make
no.
light of it, but we are because we have to because they are poisoning in every single way. And with the children, it's always pulling at our heartstrings. And the children is where it starts. And once you started to see, like, there was a couple of people that were confused, growing up, but not the entire population of the kids. It's just there's something happening. Again,
Yeah,
when you start to see the autism rise, there was something happening. Something happened. Something
yeah,
shifted. So you have to take it from a different perspective and a different mindset and look and say, well, maybe I should listen to it this way, or maybe I should look at it a different way. If you go and watch that special we were just talking about with the Sandy Hook, and it's you literally see the people walking in a circle. Just
yeah,
keep walking. You can you watch one person and watch how many times you see them circling right in front of the
yeah,
camera. And
yeah,
it's like, why did they do that? And how did they get porta potties there that's so fast? And how and why and blah blah. You start
yeah,
asking critical questions, you're going to
yeah.
blow your own mind and you're going to be able to get to a place where you're like, maybe these people aren't so crazy. Maybe there's something to this. I watched something a long time ago. I think it was on YouTube, and I'll try to see if I could put it in the description. It was called it was Max Malone, and it was called Cameraman. And he's
Okay.
like, Cameraman, and he's like, the Kenya hoax, the mall hoax. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm just gonna take a picture right here, and the camera, the camera guy's not gonna get shot because he's like Superman, and he's getting the perfect shots of every single little
Wow.
thing. And that was like a little bit more of an awakening, right? And then you go to the Boston bombing, and then why are all of these things happening? And if you start to look, you'll start to see the pattern. They don't
Yeah.
change the playbook. It's
No.
just they wait till the people get old enough and then they pull it again.
Yep.
And that's where that whole disconnect of family, right? If you don't talk to your elders and you aren't talking to people like we used to talk to, I used to love going and to like local bars and just talking to the old people and learning
Yeah.
about their history and their stories and their wartime. People don't do that anymore. Everybody
Nope.
kind of keeps to themselves and they don't share those stories and
Because
they don't
they're on this.
experience. That's right. That's right.
And that one, they did that on purpose too.
Yep.
All of that was on purpose. And
Everything.
even if you don't buy into the whole conspiracy of the school shootings, if you at least see that there's some things that don't add up, then just follow that and try to keep seeing more and more, and maybe eventually you'll get there. But people are kind of lazy too. They just
Yeah.
want to go about their business and, not care about anything else but their life. So I
Well, their
get
work's
that.
so they have no time to think. They have no time to really breathe. They come home
Yep.
from work, they're exhausted. They eat dinner, they sit on the couch for a minute, just try to relax, and then they're falling asleep, and then they get up and go to bed, and they just repeat this day
Repeat.
in, day out. And I feel bad because I would say stuff to some people, and I would be like, "Don't you care?" And they're like, "I don't have time to care."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Somebody needs to
Yeah.
care. Somebody needs to do something about like we need to do stuff. We need to start to get involved and engaged and and I talk about it all the time. If somebody will listen, I'll talk with them. If they want to, DM, I'll listen. Like I have
Yeah.
people now that are starting to come back and say, "Hey, what were you talking about with that?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Let me
That's
start you
awesome.
here. Let me start you off here." Right? And we can go back and then um there's so much information out there if you just aren't lazy and look. It's really
Yeah.
all there. It really is.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I know that
I've been
go ahead.
I, I've been a cheerleader around here for people that were afraid, that didn't see what I saw. And now that we're moving forward and everybody can see, um, at least Trump people are thrilled with what's happening. They have come up and thanked me. Thank you. We thought we were done. And you kept saying, no, this is part of the plan. You can't, you can't um, um, tell them, you have to show them. And I kept telling people that over and over again, and they're like, gosh, you were right, we had to go through this, we had to see it. Now they don't know the particulars of everything, but they get the overall grasp of
Yeah.
the plan of making it crappy through the fake Biden era to get to Trump, and now they see him pedal to the metal on doing everything so quick, and we're getting there. We're getting there.
One of the things that and again, I could be wrong, I don't know, but what I was thinking is when they closed down the counting at the end of the night, and then
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
papers and all this, I thought that that was us doing it to show the ridiculousness, to see if we, the people, would stand up and demand for a change, and we didn't. We just allowed it, and they're like, "All right, let them go through with it." I felt like we had to change the numbers because too many patriots came out. That's just what I believe.
It's
And
like
they were
have another cup of fluoride. The
and to be
fluoride
honest, I
stare.
don't but it's just like there is something broken and there is a way to fix it and unhypnotize everybody, and we just need to have the patience and just be loving, just really be loving.
Absolutely. That's what
And
we
I'm
have to
so,
do in
so
this.
happy that you have that space for people because they know that they can come there and they feel comfortable, and even if they're not a Trumper or whatever, they still feel comfortable enough to
Mhm.
come and talk to you, and as they're starting to awaken, you're gonna be able to have different conversations with different levels of their consciousness, and it's so beautiful, I
Yes.
love that for you.
Yeah,
It's so
that's a good way to put it too, because everybody's going to be at so many different levels, and you got to navigate what to say, how to say it, and to make them feel good where they're at. So yeah, that's important. And you know what? I'm going to have to take my time and really learn how to do that too. I'm going to brush up my skills on that kind of stuff.
well,
You know,
you can do it, we're doing all the workshops and stuff in Back to Light, so we're gonna start to do different things on how to help people cope
Cool.
and help people. So you can even maybe do it at the bar and stuff. You can have like mini meditation days, just have them come and just breathe in the back and come back out and, talk to other people. And
Absolutely.
because people are going to need these tools and they're so simple to do. It's just people were never taught or they just thought it was woo woo or whatever. But breathing is very, very important. And that's where we got to start
Absolutely.
just letting them know, take a deep breath and just be okay because we were all duped. We just happened to figure it out a little sooner. We were all
Yep,
duped.
exactly. We're not any better than them. We were
No.
just given the glance to see things differently earlier, and they'll get there, and
And
we'll
some
hold
people
their
have been
hand.
awake since JFK. Some people have only been awake 2 years ago. It's everybody's in their own different space of that
Yep.
awakening and that process for them. So,
Yeah, which
and
is
that's
cool because we're human,
yeah.
It's cool.
And you're
Way
going to be
cool.
able to have all different types of awakening levels too. This is going to be so cool
Yeah.
that you're going to be able to experience that and have that hub there. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Definitely keep
Yeah.
us posted because I definitely want to hear
Absolutely.
the success stories and all the good stuff because, we never know when something might shift in the news and then boom, there's their
Yeah.
awakening.
Yeah. And
It
it can
could be,
happen so quick that we're like,
I feel it's going to be quick.
yeah,
I do. I feel it's going to be like a boom, quick thing, and
yeah.
everybody's going to go.
And
Just
it could even be this week. Who knows?
who knows? Who knows?
That'd be awesome.
I'm not putting dates on anything, but who knows? I'm
Nope.
praying. I'm praying. I always say when it's around the 4th of July, I'm always like, are we actually going to celebrate our independence for real this year? But
Yeah, I
this
guess
past
it's
one
next year.
really did
Yeah.
feel like it really did feel like it. I felt a
Yeah.
shift even then. So
Yeah.
we'll see. And
Absolutely.
disclosure is gonna come as it comes and get to be there and be the light and be that structure for people to go to and
Yes.
say, hey, let me show you how I figured this out and
Yeah.
help them connect their own dots. Give them the
For
map
sure.
and let them see it. So well, I
Absolutely.
enjoyed our conversation. That was so great. Do you
Thank
have
you.
any last words?
Um, day to day. And if you're one that you're just kind of lost and stuff, reach out. Reach out to. I can be found. eh, The number of people that have reached out to me is amazing. I'm on Telegram and reach out to whoever you know. You need your hand held. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I need my hand held. So I reach out to, that's actually why I got involved with this because it's 3 a.m. and I'm not sleeping. So I start watching your video and I'm like, oh my gosh, my people, I need this. I need this because I'm not sleeping. And then pretty soon we hooked up and here we are.
Here we are.
So that's what we need to do. Just reach out. We'll get through it.
We will. We will. And do you want to
Yes.
give anybody how to get in touch with you or your phone number for the pub?
If you Google me, I sell real estate. My phone number's out there. I'm so used to it.
Let him work
People
for
can.
it. Let him work for it. I like
Okay.
it.
All right. So my pub though is Quinny Sports Pub, and it's considered Matamidi, Minnesota, which people can't spell at all. And my staff is on board with most of this. They're not where I'm at yet, but the majority of staff is there with me, knowing that we've been lied to, and it's pretty cool. So
That's great.
everybody here is very welcoming. So yeah, reach out, especially if you're in Minnesota or Western Wisconsin, because this is batshit crazy neighborhood. It really is. So
Yeah, I'm
that's
sure
okay.
we'll get a whole bunch of people going, how do we get in touch with her? So yeah, we'll definitely put that
Yeah.
in the description so
Yeah.
people can find you in your pub and go and spend your day with her and just have some laughs and just talk about the apocalypse and how we're getting through it. What we're gonna,
Exactly.
'cause, man, shit's gonna hit the fan one of these days. So we just gotta be ready.
Yep. We got to commiserate with each other, and and I do have wine, so
That's awesome.
I know. So, well, I appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you. I appreciate you and thank you so much for sharing your love and your light and your story. And it's just so wonderful. And I'm looking forward to hearing what opens up from the new people that are going to be flooding in because I know it's going to happen.
Yeah,
So
I think so too.
thank you for your time. I appreciate you and
You're
I will
welcome.
talk with you soon.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate you. And thank you to our mods. And thank you to Dave and Mark. So we'll talk soon. Much love.
Let's go. The world getting crazy, baby, chill. Don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well, baby, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Find your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate. Separate and segregate, don't celebrate quite yet. The storm is coming, cue for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate the values of our country. And our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on the streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour, troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, chosen just neglected, deflected by some breaking news. Oh, we just accept it, expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objectives, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, lying not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheap. Nah, drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting and then I pray for forgiveness.
Oh, one day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now. We need you now. Oh, we need you now. One day. The truth. This puppet show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.